Want to know how to buy a car with bad credit? In short, get a loan and then get out of the loan. If you're one of the millions of Americans who have bad credit, it's important to know that you still have options when you're trying to find the money to buy a car. You're likely to pay a lot more in interest than a borrower with good credit, but you don't have to be stuck in a bad credit loan forever. Let's take a look at your available financing options and then how to get out of a bad credit car loan. Keep in mind that when you have good credit, you have the luxury of focusing on the car first and the financing second. Unfortunately, when you have bad credit, you're seen as high risk. This means that you have to discuss financing with the dealer before selecting a car so they can find a lender willing to work with you. You may already know why it's important to have a good credit score, but life happens, and when you need a car now but have poor credit, these are your options. Check out your local credit union. According to Clark Howard, credit unions have more than doubled the loan approval rate in recent years for people with damaged credit, and credit unions will usually write the loans at 1.5 points below the banks and 4 points below what you'd pay at dealerships. A private party car loan, in other words, borrow from a friend or a family member. Now, most people will tell you that this is the quickest way to lose a friend or alienate your parents, but sometimes it's simply the best option. Just be dead serious about paying on time, and to prove it, use documentation and include interest to make it worth their while. You're going to want to set up a promissory note to make this official. Find a cosigner you trust, or more importantly, one that trusts you. This is similar to the last item, but not quite the same. You're going to ask a friend to put their credit on the line and co-sign your loan, but you'll borrow the money from the lender, not from them. The catch is that if you're unable to pay back the loan for any reason, you'll damage their credit and likely your friendship. Use an online lender who specializes in bad credit loans. My Auto Loan offers bad credit loans that you can take to the dealership just like a cash customer, and you may already know Cars Direct because they provide online car prices, but they also handle bad credit car loans. The difference between Cars Direct and My Auto Loan is that Cars Direct starts out by putting you in touch with a local car dealer who will help you find a vehicle that fits your budget. Rent a car instead. If you're having trouble getting a car loan, consider renting a car instead. You can rent when you need it, or find a long-term rental program and ask for a discounted rate, for example, a month at a time. This will cost you more in the long run, and it's going to be similar to leasing, but if you're out of options, it can be a good short-term solution. And as an added benefit, you won't need to worry about maintenance costs or resale value. This is a stretch, but I feel obligated to mention it. Consider lowering your standards for the type of vehicle that you buy. For example, look at older used cars that will get you from point A to point B, and you can still find these inexpensively and pay cash for it. Buy here, pay here used car dealerships. I really recommend against using these dealerships, but I do want to address them. The LA Times describes these programs as sign, drive, default, repossess, and resell. This type of used car dealership takes advantage of low-income buyers and sells used cars with horrible interest rates averaging around 30%. Sticker prices are rarely negotiable and down payments are always required, and to top it off, buy here, pay here car lots rarely report your payment history to the credit bureaus, resulting in no benefit to your credit score. If you do get a car with a bad credit car loan, your next step is to get out of that loan. But with the bad credit loan, it's likely that your interest rate is sky high and your car payments are huge, and that makes getting out of the debt a challenge. But you need to focus on one thing: raising your credit score. And to do this, having any loan, even a bad one, and making payments on time is the one best thing you can do. Do whatever you can to suck it up and make those payments for a year or two and prove that you're creditworthy. And once your score goes up from poor to fair, you'll have these options to get out of a bad car loan. Houses aren't the only thing you can refinance. You can get a better rate on your car loan too. And once you've established 6 months or more of on-time payments, you may be able to find lenders who will refinance your remaining auto loan balance at a more reasonable rate. Banks who might not have touched your business before will become possibilities. Check with your credit union or an online lender that allows refinancing, like Rate Genius or Up to Drive. peer-to-peer loans. Did you know that you can crowdsource your car financing? Most peer-to-peer lenders won't accept borrowers with poor credit, but if you have fair credit, you can refinance your car loan through Prosper. That's for credit scores of 640 and above, or Lending Club. That's for credit scores of 600 and above. You can also consider trading in your car for another car with a new loan and a better interest rate. Going more in debt is usually a bad idea unless you can pay off the car loan with debt that has a better interest rate. Just really try not to extend the life of the loan and keep making regular payments for at least the same amount. If you can afford to chip in a little extra scratch with each monthly payment, you'll pay off the principal earlier, which means less interest paid over the life of the loan, and you'll end all of your payments sooner. If you're lucky enough to be able to save up a little money, consider paying off your car loan early to avoid the crazy amount of interest you'll be paying through a bad credit loan. Paying off just a year early could save you hundreds of dollars. And those are some of the ways that you can purchase a car with bad credit. If you want to find out more car buying strategies and other great car buying tips, click the link right below this video.